So this is Abby. She's being very lovey right now, and I wanted to do this video, so she's on my shoulder. I wanted to talk about perception and how we perceive things, and how in that perception we can change our mind and transmute those things. It's very alchemical. I'm sure you've seen the picture of the young woman and old lady, and the way you turn the picture will bring out whatever it is that you're perceptive of. And they use it in psychology to see if you're a left brain person, right brain person. Some types of mental illness can also be, it's like the ink blot tests. But the truth of the matter is, it's a great representation of duality. How we see things is how they are. You can have two opposing sides, and both of them are correct. Now, I know you're probably going, how is that even possible? But it is. It's absolutely correct. Depending on the person's upbringing, their life experiences, their traumas. So a good, for instance, would be, say, hardcore Christian values say that abortion is wrong. But tell that to the 13-year-old girl who was raped by their stepfather. We don't like having the uncomfortable discussions because they're uncomfortable, and they test our resolve, and they test our belief systems and our patterns and what we think we are in the world at large. The same thing goes for gun rights. The same things go for political affiliations. What kind of car you drive, where you live at. And that society is able to use that against us, because a lot of us are very short-sighted when it comes to issues. We think we're right. The problem is nobody's right, and nobody's wrong either. And that's the paradox. The paradox is none of us are capable of making a correct decision, because there are no correct decisions. Everything you've done in life has led you up to whatever point you're at right now. And in that is perfection. That is consciousness. That's the divine experiencing itself as you. Was it Ram Dass who said that we are just God in drag? Because there's a lot of truth in that. And it was a hot button phrase to use. But it's true. It's the same thing with Aleister Crowley or Anton LaVey in the Church of Satan. These are polarities, opposites to the status quo, because we have to question ourselves always, either collectively or singularly. The more I know, the less I know. The more I know I know nothing. You know, these are phrases because they're absolutely true. You create objectives in your life, and you think those are the routes to take. Those are the best possible paths. But all paths are the same path. They all lead to the same spot. And once you know that, that's when you get into transmutation, changing darkness into light and light into darkness, because it's all the same shades. There's no true dark and there's no true light. They're intermingled and always moving, just like the Kundalini thing that goes up your spine, all of that. It's the balance in between. It's finding the center path. Zen Buddhists talk about it. Theravada Buddhism talks about it. Different Hindu religions Taoism, they all talk about the balance of, I guess you would call it good and evil, but it's not good and evil because there's no such thing. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Those are cliches, but they're reasons for those cliches because nothing is absolute. There is no true truth. There's only the observation, the observer, the witness, and the thing that's being observed. Like, it's funny how we love birds, but bats are icky. Well, it's because birds carry the same amount of diseases that bats do in different degrees, but they're pretty. They're pleasing to the eye. Why some flowers are considered beautiful and worthwhile, whereas others, like dandelions, are discarded, even though they're edible. So perception is very much key to the path in spirituality because we want to do good, right? We want to be kind and loving and generous because that's our true nature, is to love things. But when we get picky about it, that can be bad. That can be the bad and the good. That we get picky about what we love and things we love and things we don't love. Ideas that we have and ideas that we don't want to have. The devil is in the details. I've said before in previous videos about, shadow work is a lot about sitting down with your demons and having coffee, having a long discussion about the things that you believe in or don't believe in, or where they came from and why they're there. And I have some friends. I have a really good friend that uses this term a lot. She says first world problems. And she's a bit of a genius for that. Because first world problems, like, there are people that would love to have your problems. They would love to have a house that they could possibly lose. They would love to have a broken axle on the car that they never had. So we take for granted a lot of things. And vice versa. I mean, there's things that we do that nobody else in other countries would put up with or deal with. It's like the idea of, what is freedom? What is freedom really? Is it doing what you want to do? Or is it the idea that you can't do certain things because somebody else told you not to? I don't know. That's for you to discern. But what I do know is there's a fine line between genius and madness. There's a fine line between good and bad. And we're given all these symbols. We're given the crucifixion of Christ. We're given the assassination of John Lennon. We're given the assassination of JFK. But we're also given hope. What do you do about all of this? You live your life to your highest excitement, and you be the change that you want to see in the world. And that's it. You don't have to overthrow regimes or bomb the hell out of children. You can just say that it's not good to do that. You can just not do that yourself. You can just be you. Be more aware and be consistent. So, I hope this helps. But everything's a fucking paradox. So, you either embrace it or you keep resisting it. And we all know that resistance doesn't usually end up being beneficial. So use the darkness to get to the light, and use your light to get into the darkness, because you are neither of those things. You are the witness. As always, much love, and until next time.